Eldermere was a happy village, a place where joy and laughter filled the air. The villagers lived in harmony, their days marked by the simple pleasures of life. The sun always seemed to shine a little brighter in Eldermere, casting a warm golden glow over the quaint cottages and cobblestone streets. It nestled beside a forest, a lush expanse of greenery that seemed to stretch on forever. The forest was a constant presence, its tall trees standing like silent guardians at the edge of the village. The villagers often spoke of the forest with a mix of reverence and caution, for it was both a source of beauty and mystery. The forest was called Whispering Woods, a name that evoked a sense of enchantment and wonder. The trees in Whispering Woods were ancient, their thick trunks and sprawling branches creating a canopy that seemed to whisper secrets to those who ventured close. The forest was alive with the sounds of nature, from the rustling of leaves to the distant calls of birds. The villagers loved their home deeply. They took pride in their community and cherished the bonds they shared with one another. Every day was an opportunity to come together, whether it was for work or play. The sense of belonging was palpable, and it was this unity that made Eldermere such a special place. The villagers were kind and cheerful. They helped each other with their daily tasks, whether it was farming the fertile land, tending to the animals, or repairing their homes. In the evenings, the village would come alive with the sound of music and laughter. They played instruments, sang songs, and danced under the stars, celebrating the simple joys of life. The children of Eldermere loved to play. Their laughter echoed through the village as they ran through the fields, their imaginations turning every corner into a new adventure. They played games, chased each other, and explored every nook and cranny of their beloved village. They played in the fields where the grass was always green and the flowers bloomed in vibrant colors. They chased butterflies, their tiny feet barely touching the ground as they ran with pure, unbridled joy. The fields were their playground, a place where they could be free and happy. But they never went into the woods. The Whispering Woods, with its dense foliage and mysterious aura, was a place of wonder and caution. The children were told stories of the forest, tales that filled their minds with curiosity and a healthy respect for its boundaries. The Whispering Woods was a mysterious place, full of secrets and hidden wonders. The villagers believed that the forest was enchanted, a place where magic still lingered in the air. It was said that the trees could speak, their whispers carrying messages from the past. The trees there grew close together, their branches intertwining to form a dense, almost impenetrable barrier. The forest floor was covered in a thick layer of leaves and moss, making it difficult to navigate. It was a place that demanded respect and caution. The sunlight struggled to reach the forest floor, creating an eerie, dimly lit environment. Patches of sunlight would occasionally break through the canopy, casting a soft, ethereal glow on the ground below. It was a place of beauty and mystery, a reminder of the delicate balance between light and shadow. Toby and Poppy were twins. They lived in Eldermere. They loved to hear their grandmother's stories.
Grandmother, why is it called Whispering Woods?
Because the trees whisper secrets on the wind.
What secrets?
Legends say spirits live in the woods. They protect the forest. But a darkness fell upon the woods long ago. The spirits lost their magic. Now only whispers remain.
Toby and Poppy were fascinated. They wanted to help the spirits. They wanted to bring back the magic.
We should go into the woods.
Yes, we can help the spirits!
They knew the villagers would be upset. They knew the woods were dangerous. But they were brave. They were determined. Toby and Poppy packed a bag. They took bread and cheese. They took apples and water. They set off towards the Whispering Woods. The sunlight faded as they entered the woods. The trees loomed tall and dark. The air grew still and cold.
Do you hear that?
It's like the trees are whispering.
They felt a presence around them. It was as if the forest itself was watching them. Deeper and deeper they went. The whispers grew louder. The children felt a presence around them.
We must be brave.
We must be strong.
They walked for what felt like hours. The whispers seemed to be guiding them. They trusted the whispers. The whispers led them to a clearing. In the center stood a magnificent oak tree. It was larger than any other tree in the forest. Underneath the oak tree sat an old woman. She had kind eyes and a gentle smile. She wore a cloak of woven leaves.
Welcome, children.
Her voice was like the rustling of leaves.
I am the guardian of the woods.
Toby and Poppy bowed. They were in awe of the guardian.
We have come to help the spirits.
We want to bring back the magic.
The guardian nodded.
The spirits need your help, but first you must prove yourselves.
She led them to a clearing. 3 paths diverged from the clearing.
These are the trials of courage, wisdom, and heart. Only then can you awaken the spirits.
Toby and Poppy felt a surge of determination. They would face the trials. They would succeed. Toby chose the trial of courage. It was a path not many dared to take, but Toby felt a fire within him, a determination to prove his bravery. The forest seemed to whisper encouragement as he took his first steps. Each rustle of leaves and chirp of birds felt like a cheer from nature itself. Toby knew that this trial would test not just his physical strength, but his spirit and resolve. He ventured deeper into the woods, where shadows danced and unknown challenges awaited. He faced his fears and helped others. Along the way, he encountered a fellow traveler in distress. Without hesitation, Toby offered his assistance, showcasing his courage not just in facing the unknown, but in extending a helping hand. The forest seemed to respond to his bravery, the path ahead becoming clearer with each act of kindness. Toby realized that true courage was not just about facing one's own fears, but also about supporting others in their moments of need. Poppy chose the trial of wisdom. She had always been curious, her mind a labyrinth of questions and ideas. The forest, with its myriad mysteries, was the perfect place for her trial. Poppy knew that wisdom was not just about knowledge, but about understanding and insight. She approached each puzzle with patience, listening to the whispers of the wind and the rustling of leaves. Nature itself seemed to guide her, offering clues and insights as she delved deeper into the trial. She solved riddles and learned from nature. Each plant, each animal had a story to tell, a lesson to impart. Poppy's eyes sparkled with discovery as she unraveled the secrets of the forest. She learned to read the signs of nature, to understand the language of the trees and the songs of the birds. The forest became her teacher, and with each lesson, Poppy grew wiser, her mind expanding with newfound knowledge and understanding. Together, they faced the trial of heart. Toby and Poppy, each having completed their individual trials, now stood side by side. The trial of heart was about unity, compassion, and understanding. It was a test of their bond, their ability to work together and support each other. The forest watched as they navigated this final trial, their hearts beating in unison, their spirits intertwined. They showed kindness and compassion to all creatures. Every step they took was filled with empathy and love. They helped injured animals, nurtured plants, and even comforted the smallest of creatures. The forest seemed to come alive with their kindness, the trees swaying gently as if in approval. Toby and Poppy realized that the true essence of the trial of heart was to see the world through the eyes of others, to feel their joys and sorrows, and to act with compassion. They learned the importance of love and understanding. Their bond grew stronger with each act of kindness, their hearts opening to the beauty of the world around them. They hugged, held hands, and shared moments of pure joy. The forest, in turn, embraced them, its energy flowing through them, filling them with a sense of peace and fulfillment. Toby and Poppy understood that love and understanding were the true keys to overcoming any challenge. They returned to the guardian. The wise elder who had sent them on their trials awaited their return. The guardian's eyes sparkled with pride as Toby and Poppy approached, their faces glowing with the light of their experiences. They had grown, not just in strength and wisdom, but in heart and spirit. The guardian knew that they had passed their trials, but more importantly, they had discovered the true essence of their journey. They had faced their fears. Toby and Poppy stood tall, their hearts filled with pride and relief. They had confronted their deepest fears, navigated the unknown, and emerged stronger. The forest had tested them, but it had also nurtured and guided them. They reflected on their journey, each challenge a stepping stone to their growth. They realized that fear was not something to be avoided, but something to be faced and understood. They had learned valuable lessons. Every trial, every challenge had imparted a lesson. They had learned about courage, wisdom, and the power of the heart. They had discovered the importance of kindness, compassion, and understanding. These lessons were now a part of them, shaping their future and guiding their actions. Toby and Poppy knew that their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever came next, armed with the knowledge and strength they had gained. They had grown stronger in their hearts. The trials had not just tested their abilities, but had also strengthened their spirits. Toby and Poppy stood tall, their confidence radiating from within. They had discovered their inner strength, their capacity for love and understanding. The forest had awakened something within them, a realization of their true potential. They were no longer just children. They were now guardians of the wisdom and strength they had gained.
You have done well, children. The guardian's voice was filled with pride and warmth. Toby and Poppy listened intently, their hearts swelling with a sense of accomplishment. They had proven themselves not just to the guardian, but to the forest and to themselves. The guardian's words were a testament to their journey, a recognition of their growth and achievements. You have proven yourselves worthy. The guardian's words echoed through the forest, a proclamation of their success. Toby and Poppy beamed with pride, their smiles reflecting the joy and fulfillment they felt. They had embarked on a journey of self-discovery and had emerged victorious. The forest, their silent witness, seemed to celebrate with them, its energy vibrant and alive.
She raised her hands. The guardian, with a gesture of reverence and gratitude, lifted her hands towards the sky. It was a moment of connection, a bridge between the earth and the heavens. The forest responded, its energy converging in a brilliant display of light and life. Toby and Poppy watched in awe, feeling the power of the moment, the culmination of their journey. A bright light filled the clearing. The forest awakened. The light was not just a physical manifestation, but a symbol of the awakening within Toby and Poppy. They had discovered their true selves, their potential, and their place in the world. The forest, their guide and companion, had led them to this moment of realization. As the light enveloped them, they felt a profound sense of peace and purpose. Their journey had just begun, but they were ready, awakened and empowered by the trials they had faced. The trees swayed and danced, their leaves whispering secrets of the ancient woods. The forest canopy, bathed in golden sunlight, seemed to welcome them back with open arms. It was as if the very soul of the forest had been waiting for this moment, for the return of its guardians. Animals emerged from their hiding places, cautiously at first, then with growing confidence. Deer stepped gracefully from the shadows, their eyes reflecting the renewed magic of the forest. Birds sang melodies of joy, and squirrels chattered excitedly as they darted through the underbrush. The forest was alive once more, a symphony of life and energy. The air buzzed with the sound of the forest coming back to life. Bees flitted from flower to flower, their wings a blur of motion. The hum of insects and the chirping of birds created a harmonious backdrop, a testament to the resilience and beauty of nature. Every corner of the forest seemed to pulse with vitality, a stark contrast to the silence that had once pervaded these woods. Toby and Poppy felt a surge of joy. Their hearts swelled with pride and happiness as they watched the forest come alive around them. They laughed and ran through the trees, their spirits as light as the breeze that rustled the leaves. They had done it. They had brought back the magic. They had helped the spirits. The ethereal beings that had once seemed so distant and mysterious now danced alongside them, their forms shimmering in the dappled sunlight. The spirits' gratitude was palpable, their joy infectious. Toby and Poppy knew that they had forged a bond that would last a lifetime. They had brought back the magic. They returned to Eldermere, their faces alight with excitement. The village, once shrouded in gloom, now seemed to glow with a newfound vibrancy. The villagers, sensing the change, gathered to welcome the children home. There was a sense of anticipation in the air, a collective breath held in wonder. They told everyone about their adventure. With animated gestures and shining eyes, Toby and Poppy recounted their journey. They spoke of the guardian, the ancient protector of the forest, and the spirits that had guided them. They described the trials they had faced and the courage they had found within themselves. The villagers listened, spellbound by the tale of bravery and magic. They told everyone about the guardian and the spirits. The villagers hung on every word, their eyes wide with amazement. They had always known the forest was special, but now they understood just how deeply its magic ran. The story of the guardian and the spirits became a cherished legend, a reminder of the bond between the people and the land. They told everyone about the magic they had helped to restore. The villagers were amazed. They were grateful. Applause erupted and tears of joy were shed. The children were hailed as heroes, their bravery and kindness celebrated by all. The village of Eldermere had been given a second chance, and they vowed to honor the gift they had been given. They learned to respect the forest once more. The villagers, inspired by Toby and Poppy's tale, began to care for the forest with renewed dedication. They planted trees, tended to the wildlife, and worked together to ensure the forest would thrive for generations to come. The bond between the village and the forest grew stronger with each passing day. And so, the Whispering Woods was no longer a place of mystery and fear. It became a sanctuary, a place where people could find peace and wonder. The sunlit pathways invited exploration, and the gentle rustle of leaves became a soothing melody. The forest was a living testament to the power of unity and respect. It was a place of wonder and magic. And Toby and Poppy, they continued to explore, their hearts forever intertwined with the spirit of the forest. They knew that as long as they believed in the magic of Eldermere, the forest would always be a place of enchantment and joy.